Hey everybody, Aaron here. Welcome back to another anime review. Today we look at Danganronpa 3, Episode 9 of the Future Arc series. Now, what's funny about this, by the way, really fast, so this way no one clicks off the video, this is not a recap episode. It started off with a joke being that, he was going to do a recap episode, but then he goes, no, I'm just joking. It's going to be a really short kind of recap. So this way it just kind of catches up everyone on what's going on and stuff like that with the story. It wasn't as bad. It took like maybe a minute. And, Monokuma got to joke around about people dying left and right, which was kind of messed up. But this episode, overall, though, oh, shit. I can already tell who's going to be really affected by this episode. I'm going to talk to them later about it because I'm very curious what their reaction is. But overall, I know that Danganronpa fans of a lot of characters are going to be very upset by the end of this episode, unfortunately. So let's talk about what happened in the episode. Like I said, if you haven't seen this episode and you're watching my review first, I'd really highly advise not doing that. Go watch the episode itself. I mean, I presume that most of you, of course, already have watched the episode and now are just coming to hear my thoughts and stuff like that on it. But sometimes you never know, so I really highly advise do that. That's the only warning here. Anyways, though, let's talk about the episode though. So, Sokka, the guy who's the ultimate boxer, is able to finally open the door, which guess what it is? It's a dead end. We actually see it's underwater. This place is all underwater. So, I thought it was possible that this place was underwater. I said that it was going to sink into the water, but realistically, I was wrong about one thing, which is already was underwater. Apparently, this is, as Kirigi will tell us in a couple seconds, which is this image right here, she will talk about what she realized from various little things and tidbits of information. She saw that when one of the girls threw a dagger, or actually one of the blacksmith, when he threw a dagger at the wall, and the person dodged it, then when they woke up after that, it was gone, which is interesting. That means that they were in an identical room, but not the exact room that they started in. And so she thought there was many other little things, little tidbits of information that gave away that secretly it's underwater. So I give it, you give it to Kirigi. I mean, she knows everything when it comes to this stuff. She's the ultimate detective after OM anyways. But she's talking about that. Now, meanwhile, we have Mankata fighting the android and winning. Obviously, I mean, he kicked ass in the scene when he was fighting. You could see though, he's going really batshit crazy. Like his eye is getting more and more black. It's almost like he's losing his freaking mind. But what I wanted to point out was the thing in the chest of the robot, where it was a device that looked like it showed really fast. And you had to pause it if you didn't catch it, but it showed the penalties for every single player. So I was like, oh, that's pretty clever. I mean, so that means he has access to every player left alive. I mean, there's not too many players left alive in this game. But, he knows all their penalties now and what's going to happen if they don't, abide by them. Now, meanwhile, we go back to Kirigi, and, she says that she wants to go find Makoto because he will solve it. The ultimate artist back there, what an asshole. He's like, oh, I don't think he's going to help much. F off, man. He's better than you when it comes to I still think this guy's the reason for half this shit. I'll be honest with you. I know people might disagree with me, but I still think he might be one of the causes for a lot of this stuff. But, she's talking about how he helped them get through the tough times of the last game, of course, that they had to deal with and all that, and that she really admires him. And what's funny, though, is walking right behind them is Makoto and Asahina, so they heard everything. You see Makoto blushing a little bit. It's really cute. By the way, I do apologize if the images is a little bit kind of, weird and maybe doesn't look as good. I had to take this thing in SD because I could not make my computer run the video higher rate. I don't know why. Maybe I gotta check something on my computer. That happened to me once before, but I figured, I needed to get the review out as soon as I possibly could, so I had to put in SD. It's not a big deal for me, but, hopefully the images don't look too grainy or anything like that. Now, skipping ahead again, Mankata is with, Sokka, the ultimate boxer, and they're walking with one another, and, Sokka's telling him how, he really admires him, and he was almost going to confess something to him, but Mankata just looked at him, and then stabbed him with a sword. He goes, and Sokka goes, why would you do that? Why? And he goes, because I had to. And what's funny is you see then Mankata walking away going, screw you, Despair, for making me have to do something like that. No one made you have to do that, man. That was your choice. That was all you. I mean, honestly, God, everyone's freaking losing their mind in this damn game. I mean, that's how Danganronpa always kind of works. Everyone loses their mind, I think. But it's like, damn, Mankata just straight up losing his mind. Now, what I thought was really a romantic scene, I think it was messed up at the same time, of course, is we see Confectioner and the blacksmith together, and they clearly were in love with one another. I mean, that was obvious from all the episodes we've seen them together in, but this was really something that I guess cemented that they were in love together. But she is so paranoid of being betrayed, and she kept talking about how betrayal is something that's inevitable for people, that she actually fed him one of her candies when they were kissing like that. So that's why he started dying. And what's funny though is that he forgave her. He said, I forgive you. It's understandable why you're doing this. And he goes, Asitero. He goes, I love you. And that was like, wow. And she's still trying to rationalize it in her mind, saying, no, I had to do that. I had to do that. It was something that I must do. No, it wasn't. No, it really wasn't. I mean, people betray people. Romance in general is sometimes very hard, and this is coming from bare minimum experience when it comes to that. But betrayal is something that doesn't happen in every single romance. It doesn't always happen with people or friends. So don't think like that. Don't think like the confectioner over here. That's not true. I'll tell you that right now. But we see Makoto's group now in a room, and they're locking the room tight, and they're saying, listen, we'll try to survive through this. Hopefully, no one attacks us. Everything should be all right. Now, what I thought was pretty cool though is we see Kirigi really, she took off her glove and actually held Makoto's hand. Which, if you guys don't know, and if you never played the first game, the reason why she always wears gloves is because her hands are really incredibly burnt and really are disfigured in many ways. So, she's afraid to take off her gloves and always wears gloves all the time. For her to take off her gloves was already kind of a suspicious thing for me, because I was like, what? Ooh. I get that she wants to show love to, Makoto, but I was very intrigued by that. But, she held his hand, and we didn't see their hand because, of course, they're just trying to go off the play that's really bad. But she's saying that she would always be by his side and, never, they need each other, they'll be okay if they're working together as a team. And he, of course, accepts it and stuff like that. Now, the timer runs out, though, on the next part of the game, and, they all start falling asleep. But as she's falling asleep, she tells Makoto that do not worry and do not lose hope. I will always be by your side. That was red flags. I'll be honest with you guys and girls, that was red flags for me. But I was hoping that maybe this series wouldn't do something like this, what was going to happen. So we skip to another scene where we see the confectioner dead. I mean, that's not really surprising. But, Makoto's group wakes up, Asahina wakes up, the Ultimate Artist wakes up. Kirigi doesn't wake up. Yeah, Kirigi is dead. Yeah, she died in the sense because apparently having Makoto alive beyond the 4th time limit was what killed her. So when Monica told him that he would get someone killed by being part of the game, that's what she meant. Honestly, that was probably the most saddest thing I saw in Danganronpa. I mean, like, it moved me in the sense that, these are characters that, as me as a fan of the game, and I think many others can say, we watch the series, we play the games and stuff like that, and to see one of the beloved characters and one of the things, two people that are shipped together all the time, to see them, broken up by this, it's hard, it's something like, it's not to be in the sense that you feel horrible about it, but you feel horrible in the sense that, hey, these are characters that you've now grown up with and you've kind of grown with in general. To see this is heartwarming and also just heartbreaking in many ways. But then we have Monokata calling up on the intercom saying, "Oh, did you finally figure out what her penalty was? Yeah, see, your platitudes, as he says, were not strong enough. They're not going to do anything. You're going to have to settle this once and for all. You're going to have to do something about this." And we see Makoto doing what I think Makoto Naegi does best. He remembers what Kirigi told him, that she would always be by his side, and that he would have to face hope and not lose it. So he gets stern. He's crying, obviously, but he's stern. That's what I expect from Makoto. I mean, I think every fan of the series was expecting that from Makoto. But this sucks. Like, honest to God, this is... wow, it was really tough to watch. I mean, honestly, I didn't cry, but the thing is that it moved me. I'll say that right now, because again, like I said, it's your characters that you love and you see in any series. When they die off, it's always kind of depressing a little bit. Even no matter if it's movies or TV or books or whatever, it's always shocking, I guess, when you think that they have plot armor and they don't really. That's one thing I liked about the Danganronpa series in general, is that no character seems safe. And I've always thought that was kind of cool, because the thing is that it always keeps you on your toes and makes you think, okay, this guy could die, this girl could die, and that's unfortunate, but it makes it so the story is more believable. I think this was an amazing episode. I mean, you know, I know the fans are going to be really upset. I know there are a lot of people going to be hating on it, but you know, I think it's going to work out in the end. I really have some high hopes that everything's going to work out because, you know, that's what you have to do, hope, right? So I think that's one thing this show is conveying very well, hope. So anyways, guys and girls, I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I did. As always, please comment, tell me what you thought of the episode. As usual, too, please hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to my channel for more content like this. I will talk to you all later. Have a great, blessed day, everyone. Bye-bye.